I'm going to attempt to record. This is DJ&A mapping using Cloudworx, and we have a topo surface in AutoCAD Civil 3D 2018. We're going to link a Cloudworx project file to it. I already have it in Cloudworx. Here's our model space and our Cyclone and our Cyclone Navigator. This is going to be this final controlled. I don't want that to show on the screen. There we go. Okay, that's fixed. So we have our model space here in Cyclone, and that's the model space, the final controlled one we're going to bring into Cloudworx through this is the model space through an add-in in Civil 3D. We have over here Cloudworx 6.5 that links very good with 9.42 Cyclone. They work together. So Cloudworx is the intermediary cloud service that accesses the Cyclone database, goes in AutoCAD. So I've already made one, but for the sake of showing you this, we're going to make a new one here. These are for existing ones. You open and close one, save one. You don't usually need to use save, but we're going to open one using that command. Say feet in this case, because I know we're in international feet. Sometimes you got to switch between those, get them right between survey feet and international feet. People have told me otherwise on that, but I've found that you need to do that depending on where your drawing's at. In this case, scrolling to this model space view, that is the one I know I want. The final presentation, and hit OK. The cloud will show up momentarily. We've got a few options. It's on in the Cloudworx ribbon and this panel. We have true color, intensity. I toggle between the two depending on what I'm looking at. I already have a bunch of trees found, visibility here. Turn it on and off, regenerate points. It often regenerates on its own, but sometimes you need to hit this to regenerate. I usually leave it on highest density, and I usually leave it to be snappable. So if I draw a polyline with the PL command, I should be able to snap to these nodes. In this case, I can't until I check my snaps, and now I can by node. So that's helpful to know what those commands are. I'm going to keep that on, and we're going to continue on picking trees. Turn the visibility off. So you see I already have a few picked. I'm in the top view, 2D wireframe, but I'm going to go to turn on my point cloud through Cloudworx, and I'm going to go to one of the sides, left or right. This and the earth, left and right. I'm going to use Cliptic Manager, which comes over my other screens right here. And I'm going to go by the y-axis in this case. There's many different things you can do. Limit boxes, specify a certain cube. But in this case, I am going to clip by the y-axis, and I'm going to pick 2 points. First here, second a little bit above it here. That says 29 feet. I could have went a little farther, but I'll show you what that means in a minute. We'll say 5 feet there. Generate points. They should be eliminating my slice. Basically, my thickness slice is only about 5 feet here instead of all the way up. So if I go back to top view, I'll see that a little more clearly here. So that's all it's sliced out. So I'm doing some thin slicing. Go to 100, regenerate points. Let's try turning them on and off. Let's try turning them all off. It works a little better. Sometimes you need to kick in the butt and keep trying different thicknesses. If I go, the thinner I go with this number, the thinner the slice gets, that it goes down in the Z dimension, essentially what I'm doing. So as I go into here, into these trees, I can better see what's sliced out. So let me try a little tighter. Let's hit regenerate. Not participating. So there's my full resolution. You can see I placed my tree above it. I'm just trying to show you what it looks like when you go down, slice it down in a Y direction. It's not really cooperating here at all. It's kind of the critical part. Should be updating the view. I think I got it to update there by hitting visibility on and off. It's essentially how we place the trees. We're just slicing these, regenerating at strategic points to get these to look more like trunks. Let me try closing this model space. Yeah, no, we'll leave that. Let me open one I had just made previous. This one I was using earlier. It's a save file. I saved it somewhere in the project. Small files. So this one seems like it's working a little better. Let's turn the clipping manager. Let's turn this off. I have it on color mapping or true color. We'll try that same thing again in this new file. Enable, it went down to 20, so you can see it changing. That's how I'm really isolating. And sometimes I'll turn it between intensity and true color to really see a trunk. I'll hit regenerate where I need to. Sometimes I'll turn it on and off to speed up CAD. I'll zoom in to really where I need to. And this helps me really see where the trunks are a little better. It's not perfect, but this one I'll move a little bit over. And if I change my slice to twice the thickness in the Y direction, right? Because remember I established it by the Y, my slice, hit enter. Let's go to 100. It's thickening the slice. You can see the trunk increasing, right? So that helps me identify ground features like trees. Now I went up 150 and it's getting almost to the canopy of the tree. I'll kind of toggle between max height sometimes when I know I'm close in an area and a really far to the ground thickness like this. Sometimes you need to move around a little bit to wake up Cloudworx. So I'll show you what that means. Hit 200, woke up, but if I go to 20, I moved in, it sunk up a little quicker. Sometimes this is needed. So that's how I find the trees. And I'll just start copying. Oftentimes, if I get a really good elevation on a hill, this is harder because your elevation changes. You're gonna need to slice more in thinner areas. This area, there appears to be trees, but they're harder to see the trunks. This one, you can kind of see a trunk there. I'll zoom them down with the grips. I'll move them to the appropriate place. Keep moving on to the next one and the next one. Some of them are easier to see than others. This one's obviously a lot easier. And I'll, sometimes double check and go max height, go up. Okay, there's a canopy there. And maybe I misplaced the canopy, so I'll go down 100. I'll see that that's likely the base of the canopy of the entire tree. As it goes down, you can even check a few thicknesses. Go down one more. And you can see that it's slowly slicing down to this. Sometimes they're hard to identify like that. Sometimes they're really obvious and right in the center, like this one here. This one's pretty obvious once you get the right slice thickness. So if we went a little thinner there, move it around, it's going closer and closer to the ground as it goes in the negative Z direction, because that's how I established it, remember, at the beginning. If you go on to 20, it should almost be gone. It's getting there. Some of these trees are a lot closer to staying in one XY spot, and they're easier to see. The bigger ones are easier too. So that's my tutorial on doing trees in Cloudworx.